pattern is simply form created by the pressure between two media, like the wind over the ocean creates the waves of the ocean. And that is how all pattern is formed. No matter how chaotic it may seem in natural systems, there is order in the chaos formed by the pattern. This is how energy is trapped in biological systems. We need to understand that so we can be sustainable by design. By looking for simple patterns, dendritic patterns, branching patterns are also the patterns of rivers and tiny little patterns on leaves. There are spiral patterns, there are tessellation patterns, there are circles within circles. There are just a few pattern forms, but there are many, many, many variations, an innumerable set of imperfections in pattern. Our job is not to recreate pattern. Our job as designers is to let patterns evolve and uncover the patterns within our systems and then harmonize with them. Only use the patterns as a guide, something that tells you, I'm harmonizing with the natural system, I'm harmonizing with the natural patterns, I know that that means I'm going to be more efficient. Application of pattern is an important part of design. Not just looking at pretty patterns in nature or designing for pattern's sake, but actually finding functional patterns that work for you. Here I am in the middle of a great big mulch pit. This is over a metre and a half deep and a metre high almost above the ground, and it's full of mulch and surrounded by soil that's come out of the hole, and around it is a gilding of plants, a pattern guild really. Bananas, taro, there's aracacia, there's sweet potato, there's some mints, there's a whole mixture of plants, mainly bananas, yacon, I can see some yacon there, sweet root. But this is a really functional design because the edge on the inside of the planted circular row is taken up by the mulch, and the outside is taken up by the rampant productive ground covers like pinto peanut and other types of plants that are very abundant. We're in a phase of abundance and most of it's productive. Great application of pattern. Works anywhere you can grow bananas, papayas or palm trees, and can probably be applied to other species in other climates as well. Pattern has to be functional so that it saves us energy. So when we look at patterns in nature, we look at ways that pattern works in a functional, energy saving way. The very pattern that we use to put a banana circle together appears in the stem of the banana itself. It's a set of circles within a set of circles. There's actually a set of leaf stems together in the banana itself, repeated in the banana circle. We know we're on the right track. We're playing the game to the rules of the game. That's the way we know that we'll get accumulated and surplus energy within our system. We're harmonizing with the patterns of nature. Patterns in landscape. Water harvesting patterns in the form of swales, creating edges. Driveway plantings of bamboo, creating edges to pasture. Edges on contour down through the main crop. Edges of driveways planted to different systems, creating edge opportunities. All around us throughout design, I'm stood in amongst a cover crop of nitrogen fixing cowpea. This creates an edge to a car park. Around us we see a flowing edge curving through the landscape. That's contour, connected to the spillway of a dam, an edge overflow system. Everywhere we look, There are edges and edges that are opportunities for design. Only on edges are opportunities to harvest freely available surplus. The more convenient, practical edges that you can put through polycultural systems, the more stable they are. Aquaculture, the most productive of all systems, the most productive plants by weight come from water chestnut. Lotus root, the most productive mulch, typhus, cattails, bulrush. The most productive by mass, the most productive leaf crop in the world. Kangkong, Ipomea aquatica. The aquaculture protein production, 30 times more productive than land-based protein. That's our fish productions. Maybe 50 times more productive in the tropics. There are plants, there are fish, there's organic matter. The fastest soil building mechanism on Earth, shallow lakes and ponds. Maybe shallow marine systems just gets in front of it a fraction, but shallow lakes and ponds, more productive than forest in soil creation, anaerobic soil on the bottom of the ponds. Great polycultural interaction. The small scale aquaculture, what people have done for centuries. Great stuff, great interaction, creates the most beautiful edges, little flows of water, mimics nature. A wonderful thing to live around, very easy to get production from. What looks like a big, messy, swampy load of rampant plants is really, but this is one of the tubers of the tropics. This is taro, and this is the potato of the subtropics. Really, it's your carbohydrate crop. And what we've got here is an edge between water and land, an edge system, a swamp, and this is a swamp plant. With the assistance of water, anything in water doesn't have to fight gravity as much as land-based systems. All the animals on land are always fighting against gravity. Most of the elements in water have a gravity-free environment. They float around, so they're more productive. Taro on the edge of water and land. Here's a water flow coming down from the lotus pond down to the water chestnut pond before it then goes on to the main dam below. These are silt traps and productive systems. So they're productive and functional. Little fish in here to make sure there's no mosquitoes. Just above this there's a level terrace that holds water. Separates, divides the flow of the water, taking the energy out of the water. And above that, there's another level terrace dividing the water. And above that, there's a circular footpath around a palm circle, like the banana circle, but a productive palm circle. We'll go up and have a look at that too. So here's the palm circle, full of mulch, and the water divides either side of the palm circle, comes on down, and then spreads on this level terrace, then comes down either side of the level terrace, drops into another level terrace, then drops into the lotus pond, then the water chestnut pond, and then the dam. This pacifies the flow of the water, drops the sediment and nutrient as silt traps, grows all these productive plants, and keeps the bottom dam clean for high quality fish production. Aquaculture by design, using the patterns of nature. Observation of the patterns that are all around us and the way that energy is harvested through harmonious pattern assemblies. Pattern, the edge between chaos and harmony, the ultimate expression of a natural system is the point where it goes from harmony to chaos. That edge is the ultimate opportunity for creativity and productivity. This is the wow factor in permaculture. This is the glue that puts it together, that sticks it together, that we all inherently understand. It comes from our ancestral knowledge of survival. We all have it, and we can all make links to it. This is a subject that is not taught in any other system. And this is a subject that would probably be excluded by most academics. And yet all people understand pattern in some form, especially children. It's so easy to teach to children, the elderly, and traditional people who are not drowning in technology, who can respect the patterns of nature. Here is the form, here is the classroom, here is the teacher. This is the system that has survived for millennia and will continue to survive. This is the diversity nature's university. The energy of flow patterns in water, just a gorgeous thing, changing endlessly but repeating in form. Little overbecks going through the system. What we have to do is we have to look at pattern and find a functional relationship so that we can say, okay, this is a useful tool. This is one of the most useful tools. So we have to look at the boundary patterns, the boundary and edges. Only in natural systems are the lessons that we need to know about harvesting surplus. Only on edges and ecotones do we get accumulated surplus in nature. That's an absolute constant. So when we replicate that in our designs, when we extend edges, when we work the boundaries, when we work the interactions, then we get harvestable surplus and we get productive systems that also benefit the natural system itself. We build soil. When we build soil and get production, we're sustainable. And that's what we want to be, and that's what we need to be.